This will be, oh, this is darling. And I'm going to shoot with flash. I'm just going to adjust a couple of things. Bring this out. Okay, let's try a test one. Big smile right here.
Good.
Oh, you're looking good. A big smile once again.
So cute.
I need your head up. There we go. Yes, your head up one more time. Big smile. One more time. Your head up. Big smile right now. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I
cool.
think everything is here. Let's just take one more just to make sure it wasn't an accident. Look your head up and right here into the camera. Big smile. Oh, I don't know how we could do better than this.
Okay.
So I'm just taking a look. I think we've got something. Now, would you like another photo with the other puppets?
Yeah, let's do that.
So let's have you sit down while we arrange them.
Here,
Because I don't want you to get tired. Let's come and...
All right, all your kids are here, Tits. We're going to take another picture with you. But you don't have to hold the stick or anything. All you have to do is stand back there and be beautiful.
That's not going to be hard. All right, and again, I need your head up, up, up. And I'm going to...
You want that other hand down?
Which one?
This one here. I'll put this here. Then you can put your hand there. How's that?
He's sitting on his hand. I thought I might bring it around.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay.
Okay. Now don't look at me. Look at the camera. Head up. Head up.
You look a little forced there, Tits.
What kind of a joke do we have for you? Big smile. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. More. Another smile. I just told you a really funny joke. I can't tell. There we go. Bingo. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. And do you want to be in this, Joanne? You want to be in one?
Oh.
Why don't you pose with her?
Okay.
And you could center yourselves. Let me... Ha ha ha. There we go. Joy. I like that.
Let's see.
Perfect.
Okay. You want me over here?
Yeah, you could sit on the stool and...
It's too high.
No. Here. I'll just stand next to you.
Good.
And we'll do this.
And can I have the two of you scoot this way so that you're a little
Can you
more...
scooch that way just half a step?
I want the middle of you here. Good.
There we go. Okay.
And I am looking at two lovely ladies. Head up, Aurora, head up. There we go. Boom. Okay, head up, big smile. 1, 2, 3, boom. One more. Whoops, stay where you are. We don't need that. Aurora, head up, big smile. Right here, Joanne, you've got it. Oh, you look... Oh, I don't know. We can't do better than that. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
I think we're done.
You were done?
Let's put
Thank
your
you.
jacket on and then I'm going to...
There we go. So I have some questions. I have not asked you this before. How did you get into puppetry? When you were young at West Seattle High School, you were in the drama department. Were you doing puppets then?
No, I was not. I was just doing general theater. And but I knew what puppets were because, I had looked into all of that. So.
And then you immediately, upon graduation, went to the University of Washington. Did you know you would be a drama student at the university?
Yes, I planned to be a drama student.
Did you want to do live theater? You weren't thinking of puppets at that time?
At that time, no, because I was performing. I was singing, you see. So,
So what was your entry? Describe how you first got into puppets. Do you recall?
well, I just looked at them one day and I thought, gee, this would be good. I could use one of these in my progress with that I was doing, you see.
Do you remember what show or what puppet?
No.
Okay. But you saw a puppet that somebody else had made?
Yes, they were puppets that others had made.
And these were all handmade?
Yes.
Okay. When did you graduate, so to speak, to making your own? Was it several years or was it right
Well,
away?
It kind of took a while, yes, because when I was working on the shows, I used pieces of puppets and pieced things together, see, so that I could use, because I didn't have time to make the whole show, you see, nor was I able to make the whole show when I finally did Pip and Squeak for the Shoemaker and the Elves, because and as a matter of fact, I never did finish the second body for Squeak. For that puppet, that's the only one that exists. I didn't get around to making Squeak.
Did anybody teach you how to make puppets?
Not really. I already knew how to sew, knit, crochet, tap dance. You know, I did all those things on my own. And so I just observed and learned from observing other people. But I didn't take lessons from anybody.
There must have been a point when you decided you were going to go whole hog into puppets. I mean, I know you kept doing stage presentations of your own as an actress, but puppets kind of took over your personality, right?
Well, I suppose it did.
How did that happen?
Well, it just happened. They have a power all their own, I've always said, they speak for themselves. And so I could see how I could use the puppets to my advantage teaching something else, you see. So that's how I actually got into making the other puppets.
Give me an example of how you used puppets to show something on stage that you couldn't do as a live person.
Well, I don't think there's anything that a puppet can't do that a live person can do. It just, you can do anything.
And puppets are not just for children, are they?
They never were. Puppets were a form of entertainment for adults and were not intended for children. Everybody says that Jim Henson, was he wasn't doing puppets for children. He was doing puppets for adults.
When you got into this in the 40s and the 50s, there were not that many other students and professionals in the puppet field, right?
Not really, no. Well, at least not that I knew of. Who knows in the rest of the United States what there might have been. But I only knew what was in my own backyard, so that's what I knew.
One thing I want to ask is that Pip and Squeak, Pip is one of your earliest puppets.
Yes.
And what show was he in? You said the Shoemaker?
Shoemaker and the Elves.
Can you describe the plot of that briefly? What?
Well, the puppets came at night and built puppets for the shoemaker who was poor and was trying to make a living with the puppets.
So they came and built shoes for him.
Yeah, they came and did shoes for him.
What a lovely story to tell. It's a bit of magic.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was interesting. I don't know, it's been so long now that I've had so many different experiences in so many different ways and places that it's hard to remember, actually, it just is.
But it's still in your heart.
Yeah, I suppose it's there all
You
the
still
time.
love puppets.
Yes, right, yeah.
And I read one article where you said that puppets were the TV for kids before there was TV. In other
Yes.
words, they were much more effective when you didn't have competition.
That's right, that's right. Yeah.
And yet you had a TV show on KCTS. So you used TV to teach puppets to kids.
Yes, I did. And it was interesting because those puppets said and did things that the puppets on their own couldn't say, but they did on the TV. They were able to speak. And I don't know, it just came naturally.
When you look back, are you happy to be known as the puppet lady? Or the puppet teacher? Or the puppet expert?
That's fine. I'm glad, because if it's done as it should be done, like a fine art, detail and work, and not just slipshod stuff, yes, I'm happy to be a puppeteer. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And you make people smile and laugh, but also cry.
Oh, yeah.
The gamut of emotions.
Yeah, they have lots of different emotion.
Are we running out of time and you need to take her?
No, I just wanted to check in. I'm sorry to interrupt.
We're done with the photo, and Joanne is moving the car. And when she
Great.
comes back, we're going to put all the
Load up.
puppets in the car.
I wanted to introduce you guys to Brian. He's going to be
Oh,
helping.
go ahead.
Joanne is the niece. Aurora, this is Brian.
Hi,
Who is this?
I'm Brian Daisley. I'm going to help you get around today, if you need any help.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm Brian Daisley. I work with Mackenzie.
He's going to lead you around.
Oh, he's going to lead me.
Yeah, I'll help today.
He's going to make sure you don't fall off the stage.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
get on
She's
stage.
got a lot of experience with this, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Just if you guys can move into the green room area by 3:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
And that's where they're going to watch the program from, is the green room.
Okay.
So we'll get
Someone
no
once
details
asked
about
me,
Thank you.
how long did it take to make a puppet? Specifically, how long does it take to make a marionette? I said, well, I don't know at this point, but I'll just keep track of the time.
Uh-huh.
And you know how long it took me to make one of the marionettes?
I'm guessing hundreds of hours.
200 hours.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Actually, 200 hours to make from start to finish
Wow.
one of the puppets, you see. That's how effective they were in their own way.
And
And
you-
then, I changed things. I didn't like the way they made the hands. They made wax hands over wire, and they were not very flexible and couldn't be moved. So I decided I'd carve the hand. And same thing, I wanted the necks to go into the chest, not to be on a hook and covered, you see. So the necks were made so they actually articulated, and moved, and were there.
That's cool.
And then, of course, Joy, the little one, the dark-haired one, she was in the puppet show. She was one of the guests that went to see Pinocchio in the puppet show. And after the show was over, she said to me, she really said it to me, I don't want to be in puppet shows anymore. She said, I don't like the way they live, so I just don't want to be in a puppet show again. Well, I said, okay, it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not. I'll do this for you, but it's not. So She never was in another puppet show. She never did do another puppet show.
These are really fun.
What are the misconceptions people have about puppets?
Well, for one thing, they think they're easy. That's the first mistake they make. But they're not easy. To carve something of wood is not easy. Whether it's a puppet or a shoe or a basket or whatever it is. You know, these things take skill, and most people don't think about that and how much time. And when people ask me how long it took me to make marionette, and I thought, Lord, if I'd really known how long it took to do this, I wouldn't have done it. You know, when it comes right down to it. And, it could have been other things that I enjoyed doing, you know, without having to do puppets. But there was some magic with those puppets. And yeah, it was a magic. So I respected her and said, very well, you don't have to be in any more puppet shows. Yeah, be a good girl and help others. But it's true, it was interesting.
What is magic about puppets that live actors cannot achieve?
Well, for one thing, it involves the individual more than another person on stage, you know, in a way that it involves the feelings of that person. That's part of the thing. And when I think about it, the people that worked with the puppets and did the shows, and the people who even helped fix the puppets while we had gone into a different system, and I'd started the Valentinetti Puppeteers then, and so was working with the stuff there. There's a certain magic involved that I have to see what Joanne is doing.
They don't want to miss the ride home, so I'm going to put them back in the car.
That they want to go back over the past.
Yeah, they want to
Yeah.
go back home with you, so.
Okay, all right.
Tell me what Pip's personality is. Describe Pip.
Pip?
Yeah, what is his personality?
He's a jolly old soul, makes everybody feel nice and warm, and does good things, good works, yeah. Yeah, Pip was really my favorite of the two. You don't want to have favorites of children, but you know you do. So I don't know what she's doing now.
She's packing them up
Yeah.
so that we can get to the ceremony pretty quickly. Now, marionettes are only one type of puppet. You did hand puppets, you did pole puppets
Rod puppets.
Rod
they're called.
puppets.
They're called rod puppets.
that are bigger than life.
And and then because the puppets I did for Everyman, you know, were life size.
That was quite a production.
That was a big production.
Would you say, was that the biggest production you ever were in charge of?
Probably Everyman was the most difficult to present because, first of all, we did it at St. Mark's, and St. Mark's has terrible acoustics, absolutely hideous acoustics. So we had the sound problem to begin with. And also, there's just something about those figures that are unique.
Well, you're talking about life and death. This isn't just a fun show. This is
No, this is life and death. Yeah, this is the death of the puppets.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's all about life itself, living and dying, and how you deal with it. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Would you say that you threw yourself into your work? In other words, you weren't just an 8-hour-a-day teacher here.
No.
You spent
Night
many,
and
many
day.
hours. You must have slept overnight here sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't drive a car, so you had to bus to and from.
Yeah, I rode the bus, and people drove me in the car because they knew that if they drove me home, I'd feed them.
And this was when you lived in Wallingford?
Yes.
Did you move to
My
Wallingford?
triplex.
You moved to Wallingford to be close to the UW campus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when did you leave West Seattle?
I
Was it-
can't tell you the exact year.
Was it after high school? Right after high school, or was it during college?
Yes, I think it was after high school. I think I was already going to the university when I moved.
Uh-huh.
And we did Every Man. Every Man was a wonderful production, but St. Mark's has so many bad points.
Yeah.
Acoustics is one of them. Sightlines is another. And there are just too many things involved. So St. Mark's was a bear to perform in.
Tell me about the university itself. Was the university drama department open to you enlarging the puppet program?
Yes, it was. They were agreeable, you know.
It wasn't a fight.
No, there was no fight. And you know, when people ask me, how come the university kept you anyway, doing, of all things, puppetry? I said, well, because I was the only one that ever got them any publicity.
That's true. You were in the paper all the time.
You know.
And on TV. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, well, I'll tell you why. I finally figured it out. I was the only one that ever got my picture in the paper. You know, I was the only one.
You saw a lot of people come and go in the drama department. What building did you work in? Was it
In Denny Hall, in the basement of Denny Hall.
okay? So that was your headquarters.
That was my, and then I worked in the chocolate company, and they kept moving me around. You know, they needed me, but they also needed me to move me around, to get around campus, which I was willing to do.
So was the basement of Denny Hall where the drama department was?
Well, yes, that and the floors above, yeah.
So this would have been taken in the basement of Denny Hall.
That was taken probably in the basement, yeah, of
Okay.
Denny.
It's probably fair to say that not all universities would embrace puppetry like they did you.
No, very few even have a class, even included in part of the drama history, which it has a very prominent part to play.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, most universities don't bother with it, you know. It has to be a person who's absolutely moved by it spiritually, like I was, you know.
You became the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
Well, do you want some water? They've got some water over there. We're at 3:15 and they need you to be in the green room at 3:30. I don't want to wear you out. Do you want to rest for the next few
Well,
minutes?
I'd like to sit a while and.
Yeah. I mean, I could keep talking with
Want
you.
some
or-
water?
Not really.
I'm fine.
You sure?
I just heard you coughing. Thought you might want some
Want
water.
Let's make sure the path is good.
Here, I'll have a sip.
There you go. Have some water.
Oh,
Do you still have your strong biceps from working the... What are those sticks called? Not sticks, they're called
control bars.
the control bars.
We don't call them sticks. We call them rods.
Okay. Can I ask you one thing about another topic that people will remember? And that is, you did constant puppet shows from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Frederick and Nelson's front window. How could you work so long? Was this every 5 minutes? I mean, it
Well,
must have drawn an audience
we
that
did
kept you
it.
going.
We did it.
Whose idea was that? Yours?
It was, the store was, loved to have us, you know, and they made use of us, and they all came to help, and they all wanted to do something with it. They thought the puppets were wonderful, and yeah, everyone wanted to get into the act, you know. Everyone wanted to get into the act, one way or another.
Can you describe the faces of the kids looking in the windows at Frederick and Nelson?
Well, mouths wide open, eyes wide open, looking from one thing to another. They were great. In fact, we used to have peepholes in the stage so we could look out and watch the audience because the kids were so funny, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
that way you know you got them. You had them in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the kids that wrote the letters, you know, for the award, they said, you know, I thought that would be kind of an interesting topic to look into. And that's a lot of them just out of curiosity. And then, of course, in the athletic department, the word got around and all the athletes came. And most of them didn't do a thing with puppets.
But they had to take an elective.
Yeah, they had to have 2 credits of the humanities, something in the field of humanities, and puppetry was one of the easiest ones to get into. I've yet to find the letter I got from the athletic department thanking me for all the hours that I spent with the sports people, because I spent a lot of time with them talking about them and their involvement, and not about puppets. A lot of them weren't even interested in puppets, you know. But I did talk to the kids, and it was interesting. I never had a dull moment, I can tell you that.
How many students would you have in a class?
Well, that was the other good thing. It had a class limit of 15. See, it was a hands-on class, so I couldn't. Of course, it was always overloaded, but that didn't make any difference. We didn't talk about that. But yeah.
And so a class would finish the quarter or the semester by putting on a show?
What?
Would the class put on a show at the end of the quarter?
Not necessarily, no.
Tell me about the Valentinetti puppeteers. What was that?
Well, what it was that all my puppet students, you know, leftovers, sprinkled through everything else, that we called it the University of Washington Puppeteers, but it really wasn't ever just the University of Washington Puppeteers. It was really my students that I'd had in other classes and doing other things and taking it just out of curiosity. Yeah, the kids that took it, the drama people that took the puppet show really got lots of things out of it that they never thought they would get and that no one ever thought they would get. But that was it, you know. And they used to fight who was going to take me home. because they knew I would feed them.
Describe your personality at the time. You were not a shrinking violet. You were outgoing, correct?
Oh, yes, I was very outgoing and friendly. Yeah,
What were you known for?
for being tough. You see, when it came right down to it, they always knew that I would be tough. And the word got around, you know how it does.
What's an example of being tough in a puppet class? How do you be tough?
You just tell them to stop talking and pay attention,
Like any other class.
just like any other class.
This year's Distinguished Teaching Legacy Award recipient is Aurora Valentinetti, Professor Emerita in Drama. The impact of Aurora's teaching and work has lasted long after the curtain call. A 1965 UW graduate with a degree in drama and a long career as a UW professor, Aurora's imagination, humor, rigor, and high standards help her students explore the art of puppetry in college. And they continue to use her techniques today as teachers, artists, and performers themselves. Her legacy lives on during story times in classrooms, on stages in children's theaters, and in exhibits and programs at the Valentinetti Puppet Museum in Bremerton. Aurora, congratulations.